Alright, hello YouTubers. This is Digital Tips with Rick, and today I'm going to show you guys how to build a basic door. You see here I have a reference that I've pulled from the internet. So we're going to try to build this thing today. So we're going to start with a pipe, as we did with our window. I'm going to change the subdivisions to 4. Now we're going to rotate, get this thing into position, rotating the X 90 degrees, and then we're going to rotate in the Z 45. Now we want to get our orientation right again, so we're going to go to modify and freeze transforms, and that realigns everything. Now we're going to scale this guy up a little bit here, get it in the ballpark. We're going to go back over here to our thickness and go to 0.1. It gives us a pretty decent size frame. Now what I like to do is go into my orthographic view here and kind of shore this up a little bit, just to make sure I get what I want out of it. So it's a little wonky when you scale it, but you can kind of fix that. Now this bottom's okay, because what we're going to do with it is we're just going to delete this. We really don't need these faces. So now what we want to do is go in our vertex mode and grab these vertexes that are unaligned, and we're going to align them. Now we have lined up door frame that's pretty good. Oops, wrong view. Okay, so now what we want to do is we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to scale it in just ever so slightly to get kind of the door jamb that we need here. And these things vary with thickness depending upon how it sits in your door. So we're going to, actually we're going to push it up a little bit, thin it out just a touch more, and make sure that these bottom pieces are flush with the other ones. So we're just going to snap them into place, and now we have a frame. Sweet. Looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to go make the door piece itself. I'm going to use a plane this time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change my subdivisions on this to 4. Now after I do that, I'm going to rotate him into place, rotating the X 90 degrees. And now we're going to scale. Try to roughly scale him into place as close as we can get him. May have to kind of do a little bit of adjusting. Okay. So now what we want to do is I'm going to go into my front view here. Now the reason I use the subdivisions like this is so I can have kind of a guide. So what I'm going to go do here is I'm going to go into edge mode and select these edges, and I'm going to place them kind of in the outskirts of where these designs in the door are. Kind of use these as a guiding lines. Now from this point I can go in and drop more edge loops in to meet up with what they need, where they need to be at here. And I don't know why you see that, and my mind's kind of freaking out. I think that's where we got what we need here, so we can quit that. Now this line in the middle here was just kind of a building construction line, so what we can do with it is we don't really need it, so we're just going to delete it. Just going to delete that edge loop. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in the face mode here, and I'm just going to, let's see, wait a minute, did I mess up? I believe I did. Yes, I forgot an edge loop. Imagine that, me forgetting something. Okay, so we're going to come in here as Maya freaks out again. Now that I have everything I need, I'm going to come into face mode, selecting the faces that are going to be going along with this design, and I'm just going to do a series of extrusions here that to give it a design. And you know, at this point you can really kind of do, you know, whatever floats your boat, so to speak. As far as the shape of the design, you can go try to get it close to the actual design there is, or you can just make your own up. Be creative, have fun with it. You can see in here we've got some edges. What we really want to do is we want these edges to kind of stand out a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harden those edges. And that kind of helps give it a little bit more. It's not quite what I hoped for, but we can even also do this. This is the cool part about doing this kind of stuff. You can edit just constantly change, constantly fix it to get it to where you want it. And that's what we want to do. Don't want to just settle. So there's me a basic door design. Now what I'm going to do, because it is a plane, I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to select the whole thing, and I'm going to extrude it slightly, just slightly. Now I'm going to set the door in place. And from here, you can attach some kind of door handle. I'm just going to do, just for giggles here, I'm just going to do kind of a basic doorknob. It's not going to look anything like what that one is, just because I like to have a doorknob. I like to be able to get in my structures. Just trying to get this thing in position. And you did notice I lowered the subdivisions. I come from a background of game modeling, so I like to have things as low poly as I can make them if possible. Okay, so I'm going to just come in here and let's see. I'm going to grab some of these vertices and I'm just going to flatten this out right here just by scaling it in. Select those faces in the back, and I'm just going to run just a small extrude to kind of get a nothing real fancy here. I'm just going to put this thing in the door here. Just place it in just like that. Again, nothing super fancy. No, I don't like that. It has that faceted look to it, so I'm going to come up here to normals and I'm going to soften those normals. And now I have my doorknob. It's a basic doorknob, nothing fancy. But the cool part about doing these kind of doors is this. It's being able to make them actually function. So I'm going to go make my doorknob and my door one piece. And I'm going to change my pivot point. So now, so now it opens and shuts just like it should. Cool. All right. And at this point, you could, go on and, trick out your door frame or even add more detail to your door. All kinds of things from here. I really appreciate you guys checking this video out. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.